And Amanda, you should understand that it is very, very important to avoid sugary drinks that can lead to yeast infection. Remember that word? Those bacteria they feed on those sugary drinks, those sweet mediums that are very effective for the growth of bacteria. So we need to avoid it. Hi, beautiful people. I'm glad to have you back. Today, we are going to talk about something which is very, very important. These are things that we neglect it, which are very important as far as reproductive health is concerned. There was a lady, I think it was a lady that wrote that comment, I think something like that. She was about to visit her boyfriend, and to avoid any intimate, in the course of visiting her boyfriend, you understand what I mean? She decided to put on maybe a double underwears. And she was very happy that she's protecting herself, that she don't want her boyfriend to touch her. Can you imagine? So when I read it, I came back home. I was so disturbed. I said, now, she thought she is protecting herself from preventing her boyfriend to come in contact with her, not knowing that she's indirectly putting herself in harm. Because there are things that we do and we think that is of help to us. No, it is not of help to us. We need to be very careful. This is the 21st century. As far as our well-being is concerned, particularly our reproductive fitness, our reproductive health, it is very, very important that we take note. Imagine feeling fresh and confident every day, knowing your body is healthy and happy. For many women, maintaining vaginal fitness is a top priority. But with so many products and advice out there, it can be overwhelming to know what is best. Today, we are going to talk about something really important: how to keep the vagina clean and healthy. As a woman, we deserve to feel confident, comfortable in our own bodies. To our amazing subscribers and our new members who recently joined, I say thank you. We are grateful. Without you, we wouldn't be here. If you are here, of course, we need to be here to give you the information that you deserve. That is why we are here. So you need to stay tuned so that we take you through this important topic. Before we get started, it is essential to understand what makes up our vaginal wellness. Remember that our vagina is a self-cleaning organ. It means that it does the cleaning herself. You don't need anything. You don't need to do anything to keep your vagina healthy. No, you don't need to do anything. These are things that people are doing which is not healthy. We need to be very careful. This organ is a home to millions of beneficial bacteria. That helps what keeps us from bacteria, infection. However, sometimes our vagina can get out of balance. And when it gets out of balance, of course, it's going to lead to infections. We are going to look at 5 main tips on how to keep our vagina clean and healthy. By the end of this video, of course, you should be able to know how to keep your vagina clean and healthy without what attracting any bacteria or infection. Number 1 tips is to practice good hygiene. First and foremost, practicing good hygiene is essential for maintaining good vaginal fitness. The first steps in practicing good hygiene is what? Thorough hand washing. You need to do hand washing before touching the genital area with the vagina, the vulva, because our external hands carries a lot of bacteria. How can we practice good hygiene so that we don't attract infection to our vagina? We need to use mild soap and warm water to clean the outside of our vagina, especially the vulva area, not the inside. I say mild soap. The reason why I say mild soap is because if you use scented soap, you can disrupt the natural balance of bacteria in your vagina. pH of the vagina is acidic, and that pH is a protecting mechanism, avoiding what bacteria, contaminated stuff to get into the vagina, which can lead to a breakdown of the organ. If you use scented soap, of course, it can increase the risk of infections. That is why it is preferable to use what? Mild soap. Now, if you use scented soap, you realize that what is going to mask the symptoms of some underlying diseases and conditions. Maybe you may have some infections in the vagina, and those infections are not manifesting because what? The scented soap that you have used have suppressed the symptoms from those conditions from manifesting. So it is very, very important. That is tips number one. Tips number two, wear breathable clothing. Remember, I told you something that from the beginning of this video, I told you that I read something from one of the social media platforms where a lady put on double underwear because she was afraid in the course of visiting her boyfriend. This point goes for her and goes for any other lady that is thinking as such, right? Wearing breathable clothing can help keep your vagina dry and prevent what? Bacterial growth. It is very important that we understand that wearing cotton underwears is much preferable than any synthetic fabrics. Cotton underwear is preferred over synthetic fabrics for several reasons. I want to give you some of the reasons why cotton is much preferable. Point number one, breathability. Cotton allows for better airflow. Of course, the vagina needs what? It needs breathing, it needs circulation, right? That is why cotton is very good as underwears. Cotton absorbs moisture and it helps to prevent what? Bacteria and fungal growth. Cotton is generally softer on the skin. If you have noticed that if you have cotton underwear or cotton clothing, you realize that this is very soft on the outside of the skin. And this helps to reduce what? Irritation, and it helps to reduce discomfort. Another reason why you should use cotton underwear is because cotton is a natural material which is less likely to cause skin reactions. We need to avoid wearing tight-fitting clothing that can trap moisture. You need to put on a dress that you feel free and relaxed inside. It is very, very important, especially in humid or maybe in a hot weather. Now, very important, we need to change our underwears regularly, especially after exercise or sweating. Irrespective of it is dirty or it is not dirty, we need to regularly change it for our own what? For our own health condition and our own vaginal pigment. It's very, very important. Tips number three, we need to stay hydrated. I understand that some people don't like to drink water, but I've come to tell you that water is a natural defense mechanism. If you are not taking water today, make sure that you start taking the right amount of water every day. It's healthy. So if you are able to drink at least 2 or 2.5 liters a day as an adult, you are doing perfectly great. Now, however, individuals may differ based on factors like maybe we have age, we have sex, we have weight, activity, or the climate, certain factors. Or maybe disease conditions, maybe you need to avoid water for some disease conditions. Right? The heart failure, where it retains a lot of water, kidney failure. So it depends. But the recommended daily fluid intake should be 2 to 2.5 liters, which is very, very important. You can get some of this daily intake of water from fluid. You can get it from food like maybe fruits and vegetables. And Amanda, you should understand that it is very, very important to avoid sugary drinks that can lead to yeast infection. Remember that what? Those bacteria, they feed on those sugary drinks. Those sweet mediums, they are very effective for the growth of bacteria. So we need to avoid it. Number 4 tips, which is very, very important and very, very essential, is avoiding flushing, vaginal flushing, or sometimes called vaginal irritation or douching. Now, douching can disrupt the natural balance of bacteria in your vagina. You need to take note. It's very, very important. And this can lead to what? This can lead to infections. That is why you need to avoid this vaginal irrigation. It is not acceptable. It is not good. Douching can push bacteria and other debris further into the vagina, which is very dangerous. Douching, of course, it can disrupt the natural pH balance of the vagina. Remember that the pH of the vagina is acidic, maybe 3.8 to 5 to 4.5. And this acidic nature of the vagina is a defense mechanism that helps entry of pathogens. Fingering and douching are two different things. Douching and fingering are two different things. We are going to look at that. The acidic environment helps to protect against infections by inhibiting the growth of what? Harmful bacteria. There are bacteria in the vagina or the walls of the vagina that plays a key role in maintaining this acidic pH. That is why we need to avoid this vaginal irrigation, because when we do it, it goes and destroys those bacteria, and thereby giving what an opening for bacteria to get inside the vagina. It is very, very important that we should take note of that. Now, I just did mention that there is something peculiar to what fingering and vaginal irrigation. I want you to understand that they are not the same. There are two distinct practices with different purposes and potential effects on the vaginal wellness of kidneys. Fingering is often used for pleasure and exploration, while vaginal irrigation or douching is a perceived cleanliness. Maybe if you think that your vagina is dirty, maybe you want to do something, in order to keep it healthy or to keep it clean. While fingering, of course, is for self-sexual pleasure. Fingering involves manual stimulation. Maybe you can insert your finger, you can insert something to the vagina. It still constitutes fingering. Whereas douching involves flushing the vagina with fluid. Maybe, these liquid products, maybe to help clean the vagina. That is vaginal irrigation. Now, if you look at this fingering, when fingering is done safely, it is generally low risk for infections, while douching can increase the risk of infections and vaginal health problems. So, vaginal irrigation is very dangerous. Now, let us look at the 5 tips. Remember, I told you that we are going to look at 5 of them. And this is the last tips. And of course, not just the last, but the last for this video, right? Now, this one is very important. I know we always engage in hospital checkup when our condition becomes very chronic or very critical, which is not really good. If you feel that something is bad or something is not moving well with you, you should seek medical attention, right? It is very, very important. Now, the 5 tips that we are going to look at is get regular checkups. Now, getting regular checkups with your healthcare provider is essential for maintaining good vaginal health. Very, very important. Because if you do an early checkup, you are going to detect underlying diseases or conditions. It's going to help you prevent infections and other complications. If you do a regular checkup, it's going to help you stay informed. Remember that knowledge is power. When you are knowledgeable about something, of course, you are not going to fall. So it's going to help you stay informed and empower you about your vaginal fitness. So it is very, very important that you seek medical attention. I know by following these tips, you can help keep your vagina clean and healthy. Remember to practice good hygiene, wear breathable clothing, stay hydrated, avoid dodging or flushing, and get regular checks up with your haircare provider. I know that at this point, of course, you have learned something. You have also enjoyed the video. If you have any question, if you have any concern about vaginal fitness, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest wellness, insight, and self-care. Of course, I know that you found this video very helpful. Please like, share with others who may benefit from it. Let's spread the words and support each other on our reproductive journey. If you like this video, be sure to check our next video on fertility and conception tips, where we will discuss how diet and lifestyle can enhance fertility. I know at this point, of course, you have enjoyed the video and you have gained some knowledge. And I want to thank you so much for each and everyone that have used 1 minute of their time, 2 minutes of their time to reach at this point. Thanks again for watching, and see you in my next video.